Um, so I used to wake up every single day feeling exhausted, and not just physically but emotionally. I was over 120 pounds overweight, and food really was just had become my comfort. It was kind of like my escape, so to speak, and my way of coping. But what I didn't realize is how much it was stealing from me. Yes, food definitely was stealing from me. It was stealing my energy, it was stealing my confidence, and even my joy. And today I just want to share why I decided to change and how emotional eating and taking care of everyone else first nearly broke me. So, hello, I am Nia, and welcome to Level Up Stress Down, where I lost over 120 pounds. My story, if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for coming. So, I'll give a little backdrop into myself. I have struggled with my weight probably since I think I was 9 or 10 years old. And food for me has always been a comfort and a coping mechanism for a lot of things as I was dealing with as a young kid that I went through emotionally and physically, and I turned to food at a young age, and that just followed me on through life, through adulthood. So, like I said, I was over 120 pounds. I have done every fad diet that you can think of, ketos, trying to go vegetarian, trying to be vegan, trying, not that those are fads, but just at the time it was the, what is, hot dog diets and liquid diets and fasting. But I do a certain type of fasting now. But cabbage soup diets and whatever you can think of, I have definitely tried. And I've gotten a lot of weight. I've been up and down in my adult years of getting the weight and stuff off. Very good at it. I can definitely get it off. But and that was in my 20s and my teenage years, my 20s and my 30s. Yo 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 yo. But when the sister hit 40, honey, that metabolism just was like, yeah, I'm done. You gonna have to, baby, you gonna have to pull this together. so, um, but I did do the sleeve, the bariatric sleeve, um, and I lost quite a bit of weight from doing the sleeves. But at some point, I plateaued there, and it was like I just could not break out of the 220s from the sleeve surgery. My highest weight, documented weight, was 304 pounds. Um, I'm pretty sure I was heavier than that, but it wasn't documented. So because when I realized my family and I went to Disney World, um, I was really scared about being in some of those rides. And I've mentioned this on one other video, but then I did get feedback that one of those videos was flickering or something. It was some type of technical difficulty going on. So I do definitely want to share. And plus, new people are joining. I want you to get a chance to get to know me and hear my story. So my why was simply that because I was scared that I wasn't gonna be able to fit in the rides and be fun, and I didn't want to feel crazy, and I didn't want my family to get my vibe of that I wasn't comfortable, So, because they can feel that. Um, I also was ashamed of the weight of how big I had become, and so that was making me want to stay in the house and not be out and going anywhere. So I definitely was not outside in the streets like that at all because I was scared of the weight and just didn't want to be social. And that in its own self was depressing. And so following a lot of the weight, it became where sent me into like pretty much a depression. Um, but I wasn't realizing that it was coming from food, and I wasn't realizing it was coming from my mindset and being overweight. I just knew that I was being depressed. And so I definitely reached out to um, a clinician about that, and they wanted, of course, they want to give you medicine and antidepressants and all of that. And I did take those for a little while. And by a little while, I believe it was probably 6 months, if that. Um, I definitely took it for the first couple months like I was supposed to, and it did help. But I knew that that was something that I did not want to stay on, because I just have a thing with medication that once you're on some type of medication, at some point it's going to cause a reaction to something else, and then you're going to need another medication for this, and then you're going to need another medication for that. And I just feel like it's a chain reaction once you're dependent on medication. But I'll say, take your medication as you need to take your medication. Don't be sitting up here listening to me. Don't do that, because I am not a medical expert. And I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving my journey and sharing my why and sharing my journey with you. So definitely take your medication and follow your physician of what they suggest for you and what you feel is best for you. Y'all work that out. So for yourself. But I knew I didn't want to be on the antidepressants, and so, because I just did not want to. So I had to figure out what was going to help me. So I did opt to do the sleeve at the time. And prior to having to start the sleeve, there is a strict liquid diet and diets that you have to be, because they're helping you to develop the mindset and the habits prior to having surgery. And so I did do that. So I got down about 280, and I had this surgery in 2017. So over the months, still doing what I needed to do and exercising, not like that, but I still was exercising, but it wasn't like Monday through Friday. It would be a couple times out the week here and there. Wasn't really doing what I was supposed to do, because I truly had not developed all the habits that I really needed to have developed yet to sustain that. So I did get down to about like my 220s, somewhere in there. But even maintaining that for years, being a 220, I wanted to get out of the 220s, because I wanted to get to like 180s or 190, really was like 190. But I just could not shake it. And I wanted to figure out, put a plan together as to how to do that. So I started doing the Weight Watchers years. Then I did get down doing Weight Watchers to like 200 or so. And I was so excited and so happy. But where I failed was those things that got me to the 200, where I kind of wanted to be. Well, once I got to the 200, I didn't have no plan of how I was going to maintain that. And so quickly it went right back up to the 225. And so again, it was that yo-yo effect. So I did still keep Weight Watchers, because I like Weight Watchers. I'm not a spokesperson for Weight Watchers. I ain't getting paid for that or nothing. But I do like Weight Watchers because of their tracking that you have and counting of the points. And I get to see all my protein and grams and sodium and just all the things in there. So I do still track to this day. But after that, kind of that whole yo-yo, I decided to do the injections, the GLP-1s. I'm always saying it backwards for some reason. I'm always saying GL1Ps or something. So if I do say that in this video, please forgive me, because I stay calling it wrong. So GLP-1s. I started out on Wegovy. I believe that was 2023 I started Wegovy. And like I think I had bloomed back up to 235, somewhere in there. So I stayed on Wegovy for about a year and a half, maybe. And I did get down to about 190 something, which was good. But then I ended up I had to have eye surgery. So, and I wasn't able to exercise for some time, and I wasn't able to do a lot of the things that I was doing. So the weight slowly gained it back, because I wasn't able to kind of cook my own meals, prepare things. So I was kind of relying on my family, and a lot of the things that we had was processed. foods and just quick foods and out to eat food. So obviously I gained that weight back. And then by when I once I was still healing from the eye surgery, I did start wanting to lose the weight that I had gained, because now here it is, I'm back up to 220. So, but I wasn't able to lose it on the Wegovy at all. I wasn't able to. It just kept, the pounds just kind of kept going. And then before you knew it, I was back up to 230. So, my doctors, the team, we decided to let's try Zepbound. And so I went on Zepbound, and I'm trying to think. Was it January of 2025? It was right after kind of like Christmas time. So it was somewhere in January of 2025. And since then I have gotten down to 184. I was 184 a couple weeks ago. I haven't weighed myself, which that was the thing. I literally used to weigh myself a couple times a day. I weigh myself in the morning, I weigh myself at night, and then it got to a point where I would weigh myself once a week. Once a day. And then it changed over to a couple days out the week, and then once a week, and now it's like every couple weeks. So the scale is really not my thing anymore, and I'm so proud to finally be able to say that, because once upon a time the scale, it was me and that scale. We was one on one. It was rocking and I was rolling. It was me and that scale, honey. You couldn't do nothing without that scale with me. But now, not so much, and that's a good place to be. So if you are in your journey where you are definitely watching that scale, I understand. I know where you at. I get it. And it's okay to be wherever you are. It is okay. So, but where I'm at right now, it's just I don't pay really attention to the scale. What I do pay attention to is how I feel. And it used to be kind of how I look. I don't really care about that as much. I still want to look nice and all that in my clothes, but that was one of my things, but it's not anymore. It's just, how do I feel? How does this make me feel? So, but I still want to talk about emotional eating, because on this journey, since I've been documenting and I've been able to meet so many other content creators and introduce to people who are not even making content, that I've just had a chance to reached out and said things about emotional eating and stress eating. It has been such an eye opener as to how we all deal with that. So for me, I was eating when I was stressed. I was eating when I was sad, overwhelmed. Heck, I was even eating when I was happy. I just, whatever it was, I was still eating, because I do love food. But I noticed I would eat more when I would be uncomfortable. Anything that made me uncomfortable in some type of way, I'm going to go get something to eat, because that's how I've always dealt with it since I was 9 years old. And that's just what it was. So, like I said, it was the food I used as comfort, but also guilt. I would have a whole lot of guilt after I eat something. For instance, if something made me upset and I wanted to cry about it, or however I want to deal with it, stress, okay, well then I'm finna go eat. I'm probably finna stop at McDonald's, or I'm finna go to Zaxby's, or I'm finna hit up something, or whatever the case may be. And it felt good in that moment. I'm telling you, them bites, especially because I love McDonald's fries. I'm going to always eat McDonald's fries. That's never going to change. Although now I don't get a large McDonald's fry with ketchup. I get a small. And sometimes if I'm happy, I might give me a Happy Meal. I still can't finish it, but I still get it, because I still love the fries, and I don't deprive myself of whatever it is that I want. Which usually that happens during cycle time, is when I typically want French fries. But yeah, I know I got off the topic, but it's the truth. So, but I would feel guilty after I ate, no matter what it was. If it was donuts or whatever the case is, or candy apples, like I really love here in the fall time, even though it's still 90 degrees and it's still hot. But I would feel that guilt. So I basically, even if I wasn't excuse me, even if I wasn't hungry, I would eat. Because I realized now that I was trying to deal like a void and fill a void, you know. So for me, I would have low energy. I would feel so sluggish. It just took, and then I'd be frustrated with myself because I kept putting myself through that whole process. Like, why are you eating that? You know how you're gonna feel. You know how this is gonna make you feel, but yet and still, you still eating it, and you still doing it, and you're still like being like a little hamster on the wheel. You just doing the same thing, same thing, same thing, same thing. And I've also felt like a lot of times that I was stressed too was because I was always taking care of everybody. Like, you know, and I'm pretty sure everybody, if you have children, you know, your family, your partner, work, whatever it is, but I always made myself last. I rarely put myself first because I wanted to make sure, and my kids were smaller at the time as well. So what they needed in their life was definitely my priority. And so my family was always first. I always put me last no matter what the situation was. And so it's like I literally felt like I was pouring into everyone's cup, but then I would leave mine empty. And it's like, how you gonna have an empty cup? How you gonna share with other people and you don't even have nothing you don't have nothing to pour because you're empty? But that's really literally how I was feeling. It was like, then the emotional toll for that was like guilt versus frustration. So it felt like because I was eating so much, I felt guilty. But then again, like I said, that hamster wheel, it turned to frustration. And it's just a cycle, bouncing back between the two, bouncing back between the two. But overall, it physically, it took a toll where it was the weight gain, the stress eating, and just like the lack of time for self-care. And self-care is so important in life that we have to do that for ourselves because we have to keep our cup full if we can help water anybody else's cup. We got to make sure ours is good. So, like I said, that turning point was pretty much when we were on a trip and I was scared about about getting in the rides and things. And one thing too that's still a current goal that I'm still working towards right now is I always wanted to be again in a two-piece. I've never been able to be in a two-piece, not comfortably to where I felt comfortable because I'm top heavy first of all. So all the extra weight, I just wasn't feeling that. So now that I've lost the weight, okay, well I'm still top heavy. So so them girls did not depart, honey. They just did not. So and again, thank you for being here. If you've been here this long, I did not anticipate this video even being this long because I just wanted to kind of say a couple things. But if you've been here this long, I appreciate you watching this long. Please like the video if you like it and subscribe if you have not. And if you really are enjoying it, hit the notification bell so when I upload videos, you'll be notified. But comment below, what is your why? What is your why that you're on this journey? Whether you're still in the journey of losing weight or you're at your goal weight and you're doing life after the weight loss like I am, or you're just about to start your journey. So comment, what is your why? Also, what is your goal? What is it for you? Everybody's is different. For me, yes, ultimately, yes, I wanted to lose the weight and be able to be in a two-piece. Okay, yeah, that's fine. However, it was just so that I could feel better. I really wanted to feel better. I didn't want to have to start relying on medications because when I was in the 300s, I was pre-diabetic. So I'm not a diabetic, thankfully, but I was there. The numbers was creeping up, and that scared me. And so, because I do have diabetic family members and people that I'm close to that have to live with that. And so I see it firsthand. Um, and I didn't want that for myself, but that's where it was definitely headed. So, um, like I said, it was also what was the turning points besides the energy, the lack of energy, and feeling sluggish and feeling sick and looking in the mirror and not liking what I'm seeing. That's looking back at it. I just didn't like that. Mm-mm. Um, it was just realizing what I wanted for my future. What did I want out of my life? What did I want for my family? What did I want for myself? What did I want to be able to accomplish professionally? I felt like things were great, but it was like it wasn't about professionally. It was about really enjoying my life. What do I want from the next phase of my life? Because I still feel like I have yet to live yet. um, like I said, the why for me was just I do want to be able to live longer. I'm still blessed that my parents are still on this earth. Um, and they're in their 80s. They are in their 80s, and they're still go getters. They're still super active, and I love that. My parents are entrepreneurs. They worked. They held W-2s, but they were also entrepreneurs on the side. Um, my 85 young mother still does line dancing. Um, so she still goes to her steppers class twice a week. Um, and she's so funny that she says, even if I can't get it, as long as I'm there, I'm still moving. And so literally I'll have people texting me, telling me, girl, your mama, girl, your mama, girl. And I love when I get those texts. And I always tell them, hey, take a picture with her. Send me a picture, because we are in two different states. They're in Illinois, and we're in Tennessee. So I'm still so grateful that my parents are still on this earth, because a lot of people are not able to say that, and my heart goes out to you all, because I know that's at some point in life we'll all be a part of that. And so I'm just really grateful for the time that I have with my parents, and I love my parents. So that was basically a lot of my breaking points. And overall, I didn't want to just say I lost the weight again, because I've lost the weight multiple times. This time, I wanted to say that I lost the weight and I'm going to keep it off. So for me, when I started Zepbound, I knew that I was going to get the weight off, because that's what the medication is going to do. That's what it's supposed to do. If you let it do its job, it's going to do it. However, that wasn't my concern. My concern was when I go off of the medication, how am I going to maintain that? How am I going to sustain that? Because I'm 41. I can't be doing this yo-yo up and down forever. I'm not in my 20s anymore. I can't lose 20, 30 pounds in a couple months and keep it. I can't not do that. So I need to, when I lost it this time, I'm like, I need to be able to maintain. So collectively, throughout the years, I've learned a lot of habits that I would do and stop doing, but I slowly started making those changes. And I did really start kind of a couple years ago, but I wanted to focus on those changes, because those changes is what's going to keep the weight off for me. And the biggest thing for me is my why, is my future. That is, my future is more important to me than some french fries. My future is more important to me than some pizza. My future is more important to me than that good old juicy burger that I do love, though. And the bread, I'm a bread girl. I love bread. You can literally give me some ice water and some type of bread, and I'm going to eat it. And I love it. However, bread just didn't love me like I was loving it. So I realized that my future is more important than what the things that didn't really love me back, because all the stuff that I love didn't love me back. So I just overall, my why of losing is just because I just wanted to gain my life back and I wanted to understand what my life can be. I had my children, um, I had my daughter at 21 and I had my son at 26. So my life has been around my kids. And now that they're older, it's I'm learning who I am. And I wouldn't trade my children for the absolute world. But I'm getting to learn who I am. I'm getting to learn what it is that I like and the things that I didn't like since I decided to have kids that early. Well, I didn't give myself time to really know me. And so now I'm learning me and I love me. Sounds crazy, but I do. I absolutely love me. Um, so I just wanted to gain my life back and look forward, more importantly, look forward to my future. And every single new minute is my future. So I'm excited about that. So shifting to kind of love self-care and healing. I do like the reason I named the channel Level Up Stress Down is because I wanted to, for myself, and I think others feel the same way, is level up in all areas of our life. It is so important. Um, whether that's physically, spiritually, mentally, financially, emotionally, whatever it is, you want to be a better version of yourself. And to me, that's leveling up. But also in leveling up, it can also be stressful on what you're trying to accomplish. And so it's like for me, keeping that stress down and being mindful of how to keep the stress down will cause me to level up even more. So, one thing that I've started doing was focusing on myself and focusing on self care. Um, I'm a girly's girl. I love to get my pedicures. I don't get manicures anymore in this time actually to cut my nails because I've broken these. So my nails grow extremely long and I typically cut them every 6 months. However, it's been about 7 or 8, and as you can tell, they really need to be cut. So I will be cutting my nails probably in the next couple days or so. And then I guarantee in 6 months they're going to be probably back 6, 7 months long, and I'll be saying, "Oh, time to cut my nails again." So, so you guys will probably be seeing in the video that those nails will be cut. Yeah, and I've broken a couple, so it's just time to go. But I love getting facials. I love getting 90-minute massages. Those are the best things in the world. I love going to the sauna. Um, and I do the infrared saunas. I used to a long time ago, like at the Y and different things like that. Would do the wet sauna. I can't think of what you can call them, but I do the infrared. I love those. If you haven't had a chance to try that, please try that. It is very good for detoxing. And it just makes you feel good. Yes, you are going to sweat it out. And if you're just starting, I wouldn't recommend being in there for the full 45 minutes. But again, you consult your physician before trying anything because I'm not a medical expert. I've just been doing infrared saunas for years. So I can stay in there the full 45 minutes at this point. But I love doing the girly things. I love going to get my hair washed and conditioned. I just lay back when she's scrubbing my scalp and it feels so wonderful. I love all of that. But those are the things that I'm getting to learn that I actually love and what makes me happy. And then there's free things because a lot of times I'm so cheap. I'm very frugal. First of all, let me say I do not like spending money. I do not like it. I love my coins and I want my coins to stay in that bank account, honey. And times is rough out here. It's high out here in these streets and I don't want to spend all my money. So I've cut back on a lot of my self-care services. I used to get pedicures every 2 weeks. I've cut that back. It was once a month. No, it's about every 2 or 3 months. But I still, if I use a little pumice stone myself, but I don't get that done all the time. And now my facial and my Massages used to be once a month. Now it's about every 6 weeks or so because it's high out in these streets, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. But, and then of course, I did do a short on the IV infusions. So I do that. Speaking on the IV infusions, the reason that I do that is because as a bariatric patient, I have a little low stomach. And so part of the stomach was cut out. And it's typically the part that when you take the pill form of vitamins, they're not going to absorb as well as they probably did prior to the bariatric surgery. So I typically do the infusions. So that way I get what they call a Myers cocktail. And that's like a lot of the vitamin A and B and BBD, BBC, all of them, just all of them in there. So I do add, sometimes I'll add amino acids, or I may add glutamine, or I may add magnesium. I knew it was something else I was kind of thinking. And it's for different reasons that I will add them in there, but that works. So in addition to that, though, I do take a multivitamin still every day. I also take iron because I was always anemic for a long time. I'm not anemic anymore, but I was for a very long time. So I do take iron pills. And what else I take? I think that's it. Yeah, sounds good. And vitamin D, I will take my vitamin D. And so you make sure you check with your physicians, and you make sure you stay up on your levels and make sure you stay right, because I notice a lot of times when I'm feeling super sluggish, it's because I haven't taken my vitamins really, or I haven't gotten my IV infusions, and my vitamin D levels realistically are probably low, right along with my B12s. So, and also keeping yourself hydrated and drinking water. So y'all take the multivitamins, and we need them for sure. But also in shifting to kind of self-care and healing, I do exercise. I'm really on that. Whereas before, all these other things I would do it strong if I was in a fad diet, or after I had the bariatric surgery, I thought that didn't have to do nothing. But honey, you got to get up and move. So if you're thinking about doing your bariatric surgery, or you're about to start, let me sure I say it right, GLP-1s, whether that's Ozempic, Zepbound, Mounjaro, Wegovy, whatever. You have to work. You have to exercise. It could be as simple as walking. I'm not saying that you have to be out here with the weighted 20-pound vest like I wear, and weighted ankles, the little weighted ankles that I wear, and lifting 25 and 50 pounds. You have to do what's comfortable to you. My focus currently is toning. So I do a lot of strength training. So I'm not as much cardio, but I do still do cardio. I'll go jump on the treadmill and walk. It was once upon a time, like I think last summer, I had really got up to where I was getting it on my treadmill, but I fell off on that. I'm gonna be real 100. I fell off on that. So now, in order to do that, I'm back to walking, and so I'm like alternated. I'll like walk, and I hit it at an incline, so I'm always on 10 incline walking though, because it feels better on my knees. So I don't have Megan Thee Stallion knees or Sierra the Singer knees. I don't have their knees. I got good knees, but I ain't got their knees though. So I just go ahead and just walk. Side note of where that came from. So, but I am going to be sharing upcoming. We have like an ab. I always call it the ab roller. We do have the ab roller, but the ab roller is the one that you literally get on your knees and you just roll it out, and it's good for the core. I don't necessarily like that. My husband be tearing that one up. I don't like that one because, again, I'm top heavy, so it takes me down. It takes me down. I don't like it. I don't fool with that thing too much. But it's the ab circle. That's what I'm trying to say. The ab circle pro. We've had it 104 years. And I love that little thing. I used to literally, it's where you get on the ground, get on your knees, and you just circle. I love that little old little thing. And so I am gonna create some videos where I'm starting back to that. I used to could do up to 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes solid straight. Just throw it on my playlist and just get it. Just get it. Honey, I hadn't got on that thing in a while, and so I got on that probably about 2 weeks ago. Now I knew I hadn't been on it for about a year. And so, and I knew I wasn't just going to straight out of Compton it and just be at 10 to 15 minutes. I knew that wasn't the case. But in my mind, I thought that I was at least going to knock out at least 4 minutes. 4 minutes. I mean, that's a good little song right there. 4 minutes. That's all I was trying to do. One little jam. That's all. Y'all. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. When they say you if you don't use it, you lose it. Lord, they were never lying. Baby, 30 seconds. How I know it was 30 seconds because I saw the timer. 30 seconds in, I was like, and it was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm not going to make it. So I decided that I'm probably going to start filming and take y'all on my journey of getting back up to 10 minutes on my Ab Circle Pro because it's hilarious. So that'll be coming up soon because I do have to get back up to at least 10 minutes. I can't let it outtake me. I can't let it out at me. Plus, I am working on the core and trying to get these rolls because as many of you know that I am preparing for a lipo surgery. I've changed the date, so I will release that at some point only because my husband may be having his knee surgery, so I want to, and then it's football time, and so I have to do things around my little athlete and his schedule. Yeah, Lord have mercy, but I'm proud of him for that. So you guys will be going on that journey as well, and then so I'm excited about that because that is the goal that I was talking about, that I wanted to get into the 2-piece. Yay! So when we go on family vacations, I can pop out. Hey, pop out. Hey. So, but I need to tone up. Gotta tone up. So I got things to do. So yes, I am going to get some of this fat sucked out, and I'm going to keep toning while I'm preparing for surgery. So it doesn't start. That's the thing. And I know I've been talking a whole lot. I can't believe we're on here this long. And if y'all still here, come out and say, hey, comment below. Just say hi, please. But I'm going to be wrapping this up soon, though. So, but yeah, like I was saying, going back to my goal is definitely a 2-piece when we go on vacation. I know that's probably kind of a little vanity there, but I've always wanted to wear one because I have always had to have the big old 1-piece with the little skirts, but they make them cute now, so I'm not even finna do swimsuits like that no more because they cute now. We cute now, but it used to be just the 1-piece with the skirt, and y'all know what I'm talking about. And even then, I always had to wear a sports bra with my swimsuit, and so I used to just feel like a little old baby, little Shamu, a little baby whale. I was a cute whale, but I felt like a whale, and it just was not working for me. But now I'll still buy one of those with the cute little skirts and rock it. Love them. They're cute because they make everything so cute now. It's not like just the big old sheet. Like, just because we big don't mean we don't like style. Make it make sense. But it makes sense now. It didn't make sense back then. So my goal still is to wear the 2-piece. So before I can get to the 2-piece is I have to continue toning like I'm doing. And I'm working hard at it, but I'm going to continue toning. I am going to get me some lipo because I have what used to be big old fat back rolls. They're not big. They're still there, but they little, but they still there. And that's why another reason I'm going to be doing that Ab Circle Pro to kind of help with that and the core. But I am going to get me some lipo and get them rolls sucked out. And then I really actually have 2 surgeries because then the next one will be the breast reduction, and I'm super excited. And so after I heal, which you guys get to come on that journey as well. I mean, we're gonna be lifers here. I told you this channel is literally about life after weight loss. Um, so then we'll be going on that journey. And then I cannot wait because I'm taking y'all with me for whenever I get to finally, I don't know when that is. I ain't going to put that time out there. I ain't doing that. We going to take this day by day. We going to take this minute by minute. You know what? We're going to take this second by second. And we're going to get there though. Because I cannot wait to get to when I actually feel comfortable and I'm able to wear a two-piece and do that big old reveal. Hey, like that is such my goal right now, and that's what I'm working towards, and that's what I'm pushing for, and I cannot wait. And well, I can't wait, but I can't wait. So to be able to book that vacation, baby, it's gonna be a whole celebration right there. So let me hurry up so we can get off here. But I appreciate you guys staying. If you stayed this long, you a trooper. You was in it to win it, and I appreciate you so much for doing that. So, but some small shifts that I did want to share. Instead of, like I said, going to McDonald's or Zaxby's or whatever, or eating some good old soul food, because I do love some baked macaroni and cheese. I love it, and some candy yams and some hot water cone bread. I sure do love it. I ain't gonna lie, and every good old pork chop every now and then. But I do. It is what it is. Not gonna change. I still eat that some from time to time in moderations, but that's life after weight loss. I'm not gonna deprive myself of anything because then I don't do diets. I haven't did a diet in a long time. I don't do that. I just do lifestyle changes over here. Um, but some of the small shifts I wanted to talk about really quick was that you make for yourself that worked for me, and it may work for you. But again, consult with your physician because I'm not a medical expert. Okay, all right. So I would say for me it was water. Yes, I drink a lot of water, a whole lot of. Make me sweat, make me water. Yes, or drink water, mind my business. I do that too. I keep water off to the side all the time. Mm-hmm. I do. I drink a lot of water. Um, I probably drink about 100 ounces of water a day, somewhere between 80 and 100 ounces of water a day. Um, Now that I've lost the weight, it's hard, and I got a little low stomach too. It's hard to get, those are the days when I get that much water that I really don't typically eat as much, and I have to force myself. Um, so the small change for me was drinking water. I stopped drinking Sprite, although every once in a while I'll drink Sprite, but it may be a couple sips. I used to love McDonald's Sprites and stuff, so but I don't really drink that because now being a gastric sleeve patient and all that, it's all the gurgles and it hurt and I don't want to hurt and it's just not worth it. Then I put it in my Weight Watchers tracker and then it take up a lot of my points for that little old sip when I probably could have had some chicken and some broccoli and I could have had a whole meal. And so seeing that in my tracker is just not worth it to me. So I really don't drink a lot of soda pop. A lot of soda pop. No, we're gonna do a lot of soda pop. I don't know where that came from, but I don't really drink a lot of soda. So I do drink a lot of water for sure. That was some of the small shifts that I decided to make, and then moving, get busy with it. Move your body. What, and like I said, it doesn't matter. You don't have to work out 7 days a week, hardcore. I'm in it to win it and do an hour long and just getting it. You ain't gotta do all that. You can simply walk, move around. Sometimes I love Zumba, and I was a licensed Zumba instructor for many years. I let that go because I just didn't have the time to do all that. But I still have a lot of those videos and all that. So I'll usually go downstairs in the living room where I have more room and I'll do Zumba some days. Or I'll turn on the music and I dance for an hour or 90 minutes because that's just what I love. So It just depends. I listen to my body, but I make sure that I'm moving my body. So you have to move. You have to move. It doesn't matter if you're getting the surgery or if you're on the medication. You have to move your body because heart health, there's so many reasons. You want your skin to look good. You want to overall feel better. That's my goal. I want to feel better. And I definitely want the heart health. So you have to move your body. Um, and then sleep, rest. I used to only get anywhere between like 2 to 4 hours when my kids were younger because I had a couple jobs. My husband and I, we had a couple jobs, the school and the kids and stuff. And oh my goodness, oh my gosh. And I realized I was getting between 2 and 4 hours every single night for years. And that's when I weighed so much more. Now, honey, I'm sleep blissfully. I try to get 8 hours. That still don't happen. My body don't let me stay asleep that long, but I do usually get about 6 to 7 hours a night, and I feel so relaxed. One thing that I've started doing because um I used to keep the TV on and fall off to sleep to that, but I've learned so much on these YouTube streets. Let me keep it real 100. I've learned a lot on these YouTube streets that I didn't even know I needed to learn. But there is a lot of like sleepful night, restful nights. I don't know the names of their channels and all that, but sleepful nights, restful nights channels and stuff that I just started doing this a few days ago, where I would put it on and leave it on, and it's like little raindrop sounds or ocean sounds, kind of nature calming sounds. And when I tell you, I've been sleeping really well with that, and I've been making myself. Usually, I turn our timer on, so once I fall asleep, my TV's gonna go off anyway. But that has really calmed me. So that may be something that y'all look into for yourself. It may work for you, it may not, but it's really been working for me. But get that sleep. However you need to get it, get that sleep. Um, the last two things that I do want to say really quick, and we're going to go ahead and jump off of here, is the mindset. The biggest thing is the mindset. You have to realize that you are loved and you're worthy. And more importantly, you are worthy of the same love that you give to everybody else. Because we're taking care of our children, we're taking care of work and possibly parents and family. And we have to give so much. Church communities, we have to give. Still give a little more. Give. There you go. But you got to give that to yourself. You got to give that love to yourself. It's not selfish. It's selfless. To love yourself and to give to yourself. Give that same strong, unconditional love that you give to your family. Give it to yourself. I never really knew what unconditional love to myself felt like, honestly, until the last few years when I decided I have to pull back a little bit from taking care of everybody and controlling everybody's schedules. And oh my God, I could not do it because it was stressing me out. It was literally killing me. And I thought about it. I said, after I allowed my family to kill me, they still gonna do what they want to do anyway, and I'm gonna be laying up there dead. I don't want to jump up and die. I don't have time for that. Lord, I don't want. Lord, I don't want to die right now. I want to live my life. I want to live. So you have to love yourself. So change your mindset. You got to work on your mindset, because if you don't get that mental together, it won't work. You can do it for so long. And trust me, take it from somebody who's been doing this for well over 20 years. I know of that yo-yo diet. So self-care is not selfish, y'all. It's not. It's your self-worth. It's survival to self-care and to self-love yourself. Because if you don't, who's going to give it to you? You shouldn't depend on your spouse to give you that love that you need to be giving yourself. Your spouses will love you even more when they realize that you love yourself. And then they won't feel so obligated to have to give you something that nobody can give you except yourself. You have to fill that void for you. Because I guarantee when you start taking care of yourself and you'll start loving yourself and you start leveling up, stress down for yourself, you're going to get this glow, this aura, as my son talking about, as if that word ain't been out. But I digress right there. But you'll get this glow. People will feel that. People will see that. But more importantly, you will know that. You're going to feel that yourself. You're going to love yourself. So, all right, y'all. I cannot believe this has been about 50 minutes because I really thought this video was going to be about 12 to 15 minutes. Yeah, give or take. Okay, maybe 20. So clearly I just went off the deep end and just did a whole video over here. But if you made it to the end of this video, please hit the like if you like what you're hearing, and subscribe if you have not already, to continue to share in Life After Weight Loss with Mia at Level Up Stress Down. And if you feel so inclined, hit that little notification bell, and so that way you'll be notified whenever I upload any videos. So thank you guys for staying this long. I appreciate every single one of you, whether you're subscribing or you're click stopping, and just, I appreciate you, and I wish you all the best in all that you have. And as I always say, please be kind to people, because we live in a stressful world and you don't know what people are dealing with. And if you take the time to just be kind to someone, that may be just what they needed. They may have just needed that smile, or they may have just needed the kind words that you gave, and you might be that only one person that gave that to them, because you do not know what people are dealing with in this world. So be kind to others and be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace, and remember to give yourself care and yourself love, because you are more than enough. I promise you, you're more than enough. So all right, y'all. Well, thank you. And I'm your girl, Nia, here at Leveled Up, Stressed Down. Until the next video, I'll see you all soon. Take care.